What was childhood like?
When I born, my mom was 17. I kind of like struggle because my beginnings, like, I was very poor, very, very poor. So my mom, almost before she gave birth on my little brother, my parents almost, they break up at that point because it was hard. But be careful, because people, they like to take advantage. And people don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you be bad.
Even with family, for example, just because they're your family, just because they're related by blood, it doesn't mean that they have your best interests at heart. Have you ever tried tantric sex?
You can practice tantric sex without having the partner.
Wow. Welcome back to the Rubasha Family podcast. We have a very special episode, a very special guest. Guys, if you're watching this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We have a lot more content on the way. Now, I'll let my guest introduce herself, but this is a very special episode. She's been a lovely friend here, not only for the Rubasha family, but I know for my personal channel, being able to have you on the channel. If you guys haven't seen, the link will be in the description. MJ has been quite on a few appearances, music videos, anything there, more content coming soon. But I think this conversation and having these talks is for us to get to know each other, for us to use this platform to have great conversations. And I think it's time for us to get to know you a bit more further. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thanks so much for having me. Well, guys, I'm MJ. I'm from Chile. And I'm currently living in Australia for the past almost 4 years. And yeah.
4 years, wow. Okay.
Almost 4 years.
Wow. How does it feel?
To be honest, I feel like I've been here for 1 year or two, max. Because I was in lockdown almost 2, so I don't feel like I've been actually 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, time goes fast.
Yes.
Very, very quickly. It flies by. Okay, so the thing is, MJ, for this conversation, I want to take it back all to the very beginning.
Yeah.
Give us a bit about your background, where you come from. Yeah, the story.
Wow, the story is a bit long, but I'm gonna make it shorter.
Okay.
But interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start. So I'm 32, and I left home when I turned 18. So around how many years already? 14.
Mm-hmm. But where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in San Antonio, which is a little town.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio is around 90 minutes from the capital, which is Santiago de Chile. So I born and raised in San Antonio. And when I left there around 18, actually when I turned 18, I moved to the city, to the main capital, and spent there around 4 years, almost 5, because I studied there. So I studied advertising in my country. And as soon as I graduated, I went to see the world.
Okay, but real quick, let me stop you there. Let's take it back a little bit further.
How much back? How much? Okay, let's go.
So you grew up in a country town, like away from the city.
It's not like country town. I will say it's a town, but it's 10 minutes from the sea. So Chile is a very slim country. It's the longest one. And Santiago de Chile, which is the capital, is just in the middle. And then in the middle of the middle, just in the center of the country. So to the west, you have Valparaiso, which is all the sea, beaches. And the east, you have mountains, like Los Andes, Cordillera, and all of that. But I'm from the beach, kind of, very, very close. Okay. And in this, we call it the towns. It's like, if I kind of make the comparison with Sydney, I used to live in Manovra, kind of like that.
Like where?
Manovra.
Okay, Maroubra.
Manovra.
Okay, so it was very beachy.
Beachy vibes, yes.
Good weather all year round.
We have very similar weather than Sydney, like the fourth season as well.
Wow.
Like in summer is in December to February, and then winter this time. So
like this, yeah.
Very, very similar in terms of the weather.
Okay, and how was childhood? What was childhood like?
My childhood, well, I kind of like struggle because I'm coming my beginnings like I was very poor, very very poor. My parents they always work. Even like my father, he just finished like school and that's it. My mom always working. When I born, my mom was 17. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
How old was your dad?
So my dad probably was like 20 something, but yeah, she was very young. So that's a very funny thing. When I turned 17, my mom make like a big party for me because I didn't get kind of pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, like a big birthday party.
You think that was her fear?
Yeah. But to be honest, I have never had the intention to be pregnant.
Yeah.
I am more mature. I always kind of like, always I wanting for, since I born, I was making the uncomfortable questions. Living in a small town is not easy because everyone knows each other. So it makes you feel like uncomfortable. You have to always follow the path, the normal path. You know what we're talking, like grow up, go to school, and then maybe study university.
So just quickly, and I think this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
When did you realize we're poor? Like, I'm poor.
I always knew it.
No, but like, from what age did it?
Yeah, I think I would say when you go to school and then you start realizing like everyone, I don't know, like the shoes, for example. Like my mom always used to buy me shoes for 2 years, and my classmates they change it every year. Or my things, like my little backpack or my uniform. Always she was buying things for 1 or 2 years, or using stuff and things like that. And that is when you realize you are poor. Or when you are poor, like you have any kind of celebration, you ask her for money, mom, I have to do this. Your mom said, I don't have it, and it was difficult. I kind of like always when I was a child, I hid that part of myself, like because I was ashamed for being poor, for don't have things. So it was, oh yeah. For example, if someone invite me for a birthday, I will say, oh, no, sorry, I can go, I will do something with my parents or whatever.
You just make an excuse.
I make an excuse, obviously, to not to go. Because even like my mom said, okay, just go, like, yeah, dress up, and you was like, what's the point, like, go there and see my classmates spending the money or buying stuff. And I didn't have it, so it was like, why? For what? And I had also, like, when I grow up, I always share my room with my little sister. So we have like probably like 8 years in between us.
Oh wow, 8 years.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest.
I am the oldest. Yeah. So always I share a room with her. I was the big girl, like the big sister, looking after my parents when they work, looking after my siblings.
So how many siblings?
So in total we are 4.
4 siblings.
Yeah, so it's me and then my brother, sister, and my little brother. So with my little brother is 13 years.
13. Mm-hmm. That's the youngest.
That's the youngest.
Baby. Then the second.
And then Constanza, she is probably 8 or 9 years. I'm not sure, to be honest. I have to calculate it.
Yeah.
And then with my brother, we are 3 years in between.
Okay. Yeah. So from a very young age, obviously when you had siblings, you were taking care of them. You were the mother when your parents were always working.
Always working, trying to find a way, and always, yeah, from the early morning until 9. And I have to do it, go to school and then finish school and then go home and then try to make something, or sometimes we didn't have it. Sometimes we only have to buy food for the day. I mean, that's it, and it was like.
Did you ever like ask your parents any questions? You know how like, because you're a child, you're growing up.
Yeah, obviously. But always I felt like I think I felt a lot of like empathy with my parents because I was like trying to support my little brothers and my little siblings. Just to make like them, always make them like happy. You know, like I had never been like selfish, or I didn't have that reaction to be like, oh my God, like complaining about the situation. I always try to find the solution. So as soon as I was like at 12 probably,
12.
I started working. So working means like in a little shop, or maybe or because it's a small town, so every kind of like know each other. And my grandmother used to be very social. So one funny thing is like my grandmother, she used to have the same like mug than me, but on the other side.
The same what? Oh, yeah.
So every time when I used to go out, everyone knows me. It was like, oh yeah, hi, how are you? How is your grandma? Or this and that. Everyone knew who I was for that thing. So everyone recognized it. And I don't think people makes me feel uncomfortable, you know, kind of like in the city, but they knew like we were a struggle in some point, you know, like for many reasons, maybe the lack of education of my parents or the opportunities, I don't know, to be honest. But as soon as I could, okay. So I think when I was like 12, maybe, yeah, 12, I used to do the like packaging like gift in this store.
So package gift like the post office?
No, more like they sell like a gift. It's like a gift shop, so you can go there sometimes little dolls, maybe toys, or sometimes boxes, cute stuff. You know, when you're gonna find like a birthday present. So you used to do that.
From the ages of 12?
Yes.
What about school?
So I used to go to school, obviously.
Okay.
For Christmas, like when I have these long weekends, they allows me to kind of like go there too. And then when I kind of like almost turned 13, my parents, they opened the first shop. And they have the opportunity. My father, what happened is like, my father got fired from his work. So he got this money. And then they decided to open the shop with that money. So they invest all the money in this shop. It was like a bottle shop.
A bottle shop. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So as I was like underage, I couldn't go like behind to sell the alcohol. But the cashier, it was in the other side. So I used to work there. So when I was 13.
13 years old, you're going. What were you doing?
In the cashier. So I used to be the cashier. So I remember we used to be like small, you know, 13 years is like short person. So my mom put this very tall chair on there. So go to school and then finish school, I don't know, like 3 p.m. And then go to the shop, eat something there, and then like be the cashier because it's a machine, it's automatic. And I used to be very quick learner. So they teach me how to do it and then clean the sweets, organize, tied up, you know, in the little, that's what I was doing. And my mom, I remember one day she said, oh yeah, so can you stay, I don't know, on the weekends? Yeah, and then I have an argument. I said, if you pay me.
How old?
Like 13.
13.
Because because I started making friends with the shop next to me, this gift shop. And they said to me, you can come here to work on weekends. And I pay you, they said to me, I pay you 5,000 Chilean pesos. 5,000 Chilean pesos is like $10 for a day.
$10 for the day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the day. So this week, oh, wow, yeah. Even like, yeah. For it was like, it was like, oh my God, yes. And I said to my mom, I'm not going to continue working with you on the weekends because they offer me like this money.
And me, I'm not getting paid.
I'm not getting paid anything. And they say, obviously, she said to me, but you are my oldest child. You have to help me. You know, I'm working.
On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today.
And he was like, okay. She said, okay, I pay you, but only if you were, I don't know, like said, okay, whatever. So yeah, I'm still like I'm making this deal.
But you see what's interesting, from a young age, you seem like you were very intuitive. You feel like you were learning. Okay, you were sharp. You were a quick learner, and because you had to be, you were the firstborn. You had to keep learning.
Exactly, because I feel like even though my mom always put me like, I remember when I was very like small, like child. She was like, you're gonna bright in life. You have to believe it. Everything.
Wait, she said what? Wait, repeat.
She said, you will bright.
You'll be bright.
Yeah, you will bright. So you are light. Like a little diamond. She said, diamonds always grow under pressure. So don't forget, the pressure always is gonna make you shine. So that's always put me in my mind.
She used to say that to you. How old were you when she'd say things like that?
I was very, probably 7, 8, because it wasn't like in that time when I was like 12, like 13, 14, when my parents had that shop, our like economic situation, financial situation kind of changed, but another problems came with that, because it was the first time we kind of had money.
Okay, so quickly before you go on, when you guys started the business there in Chile, it started doing well.
Yeah.
Because alcohol, that sells like crazy. You know what I mean? And when you said that, I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because my what happened is like my father, he used to be like a seller, like salesman. So he always sells like ice cream or drinks, soft drinks, alcohol. So he have all these contacts. Also when he got fired, he have all these contacts, so they use the money to do this business. So it was well, but the management after that, it was shit. And then obviously another problems came, like my mom got pregnant in that time, and my dad, he kind of lost himself in terms of money, because when you start having money, people come to you. And then they just train you. So that's what happened with my parents.
Okay, so you guys are doing the business now. Things are going well. How old are you at this point?
Probably like a 14.
14.
Very quick.
Quickly. So you guys, you and your dad, what was his job?
So my dad, what happened is like my both parents, they meant to be in the shop, because he didn't have a job. So it was okay, we're gonna do this job, this shop.
No, I'm saying like before the shop. Yeah, before when he got fired.
Oh, like so in different companies.
Okay, it's a different company.
In like PepsiCo.
Okay.
Like another company that said alcohol. So he had all these contacts.
Okay, so you guys start this business. A year in, you're 13 years old. Things are pretty bad. You guys are poor. They get this idea. He gets the money from the job. So now you turn 14. What starts to happen when the money's coming? What was life like? And then let me ask you, what was their relationship like from your perspective, seeing mom and dad? Was there argument? Like, do you know what I mean?
So at the beginning, they were okay. I don't know, but everything it blew up I remember it was very quick, because so many other things happened in like 5 years. So I remember it was very quick. So it was like using the money to live, to pay the expenses and this and that. But obviously, if you don't manage something well, it's gonna run out at some point, And my father started having like bad behaviors, like going with friends for drinks and this and that, making cool. I don't know, just you never know what happened in their mind. So, and then my mom got pregnant. I remember that, and that was like the hit, because she started like big belly, and she had. For my little brother. That was the last child.
And the last one.
Yeah. And then my dad, he started having these bad behaviors, and then my mom got pregnant, and she had very bad like pregnancy. She got this like diabetes pregnancy or something. So it was a child number 4. So can you imagine my mom was child number 4? She said, oh yeah, I know how is this thing, so I can just start working and this and that. But it didn't happen in that way. It was very, very challenging.
The pregnancy.
It was very, very challenging.
What was the issue that
So she had like a diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
While she was pregnant.
Yeah. So you can have like a 50% you get it when you get pregnant. It's just for the period you are pregnant. I don't know. It's just something like that. So she got that, and then she started having like very bad like health issues. So obviously my dad, he was like kind of supporting 100%. And yeah, anyway, so all this business at some point last fucked.
So when you say that is because it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And also it's not expensive. Also you have to understand, it was like my mom pregnant with big belly. And then my dad, he wasn't like 100% into the business.
So who was working in the shop?
I was working in the shop.
Every day?
Every day after school, in the cashier. And then someone else like behind to giving the alcohol, because I couldn't do that because I was underage. But I was in the cashier, and I remember that.
So, and who was handling the money to give?
Okay, so that was the thing. So I was handling, and then if someone come to the shop to say, oh, we need to pay this invoice. Okay, mom will say, okay, you have to pay with this money. You have to do this and that. And then sometimes, obviously, when I had to go to school, I used to go to school and this and that. But at some point, the monies are running out, and then you don't have money to invest in the inventory. So that's what is happening. You take too much profit, and then you don't know how to manage. That's how you run business. Anyway, so my mom, almost before she gave birth on my little brother, my parents almost they break up in that point because it was hard. I remember we used to live in one house and we have to move to another one, and it changed. It's kind of like we went to like 10 steps backwards. Like they sell the shop because they couldn't afford it, because they have too many like debt.
So they couldn't afford to buy the alcohol.
And then if you don't have a stock to sell, how are you going to pay the invoices?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Electricity, the rent. Were they renting the shop?
They rent the shop, they rent the house, and then obviously my part. It just, you make mistake as a human being. It's part of the thing. So I remember my mom decided to just kind of give up with this, because obviously she was like almost giving birth. So
Stress,
and then pregnancy, and then my dad, and then 3 children on the side. It's like, it wasn't hard. I remember one time, like for Christmas, holidays, all these big days, they have this little office, so you used to sleep there because they had to work until 4 or 5.
Oh, really?
They couldn't, yeah. So we had to sleep in the office because then they couldn't let us sleep in the house. It was late. So I remember these little things. So anyway, after that, they closed the shop. And here's the thing. We moved to this house. It was a little house, my mom decided to buy all for the baby. And obviously had some money on it. And then we moved to this house. And when I moved to this house, my parents, they were like very bad. And then we didn't have any money. Like we couldn't afford it. My mom, she couldn't work because after pregnancy, and my dad, he couldn't find a job. So obviously, I think I was like a 14, almost 15.
Okay, 15 here.
15 here.
So this is like a year after.
Like almost 2 years
after the business and everything.
Mm-hmm. Almost a year after, and then my dad got this opportunity to go to Iraq.
To Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the opportunity was like international security, and I remember they promised him like I don't know, like $2,000 maybe
A month.
Mm-hmm. Or $1,000. It was like something like that. And they were back and forth with these things, and he was like, okay, whatever, let's do it. And then so we moved to this other house, to another house, because we didn't have any money.
So from the other house, you guys couldn't pay the rent?
And then we moved to another one. And another one, it was worse because it wasn't in a proper house. To be honest, it was the house, and then this house has the little house in the back. So we rented this little house, we couldn't afford it. And that's how my dad, he was a fucker, found a job. My little boy was a baby, and this opportunity came. And he said,
we don't have money.
we don't have money, nothing, I'm going. So he left. So
Your mom by herself.
So he went to Iraq. He was probably 2 months, and then I don't know how we survived, to be honest. It was bad. It was very bad.
But did he not get the job and then?
Yeah, and then something happened, and then we started receiving this money.
How long after?
Probably like 6 weeks.
Okay, so he came down and he started to work.
He went there with a contract, obviously, but we meant to receive, I don't know, 4 weeks, and then something happened.
Wait, slow down a bit. You said what happened?
So we meant to receive the money 4 weeks after he left or something like that, but we didn't have money for 6 weeks, something. So I remember when that money came, me and my mom took us to the supermarket. And that thing, it was unbelievable. Going to the supermarket with a trolley, going around and buy the
Really?
food. And that was so I didn't have that for for, you know what, we struggle. We didn't have it. And then...
So even just for you to go with your 15, 16?
Yeah, probably a 15, not even 16.
16 years old to go to the supermarket with a trolley, that was you had never experienced going to a grocery store.
I used to go to a grocery store when we had this shop, when we were at 13, because we used to have the money to go and then buy all the groceries for the month or 2 weeks or whatever. But then we have 2 years that we were a struggle. And we survived because my grandmother, she used to live very close to us. So she always in Chile, we have this culture to have breakfast, and then we have lunch, and then we have once. We don't have dinner. We have once. Once is a breakfast kind of. We eat very similar. So we used to go on my grandmother. She always sent the bread, or eggs or something to kind of pass, pass. And I don't know. It just we were living the day, literally the day. So obviously, when I was in between 13, 14, 15, I started working in this shop because my parents didn't have a job, but they know me. So every weekend I used to go there for this $10 and then come back, and then with that money buying eggs or butter or a little bread or something. Always I was doing that, So that's what happened.
Okay. So 6 weeks after your dad moves over, now you guys are going to the supermarket, you're saying. Was he had sent his paycheck or?
Yeah. So how it worked, it was they sent us a card, a Visa card, because they were sending the money in dollars, and then we started paying with that. So slowly, my little brother, he didn't know my dad because he grew up, my dad, he was I think it was 18 months in Iraq, and then he came to Chile for the first time. So in 18 months, obviously, we started receiving that money. And then my mom started working when my little brother was 7 months or 7 months.
She started working. And you were helping her? That's it. Did your mom have any sisters?
She have a sister. She has sisters and mother as well. She have 2 brothers. They are 4 as well, as 2. When my dad was while my dad was in Iraq, my grandmother from part of my mom kind of reconnected with us for Christmas. That's it.
How old were you when your grandma was coming?
Probably 15, but she didn't come. She knew, she was very interested and interested. She was more about the money, because when she knew my dad was in Iraq, she thought we had money, and to be honest, we didn't have it.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube. YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who is really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rubasha Family podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video. Yeah, because what's interesting is, like you said, those ages from 1 to 7, that's where you learn about the world. That's when you're conditioned. Your conditioning is what you see, your environment. And when, you hear that's how the poor stay poor and the rich stay rich, and because you're in that environment straight away, you're hearing lack.
Yeah.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough when I go to school. We can't do this. We don't have enough money. So I feel like a lot of people believe that in their conditioning and they grow up in life. So I think that's very interesting. You growing up in that type of environment, like you said, you were poor. Like for you to think about the places you lived, like it's an incredible story. So how do you feel that affected you coming through life?
To be honest, affected me. And since these days, it does.
Till now.
Because I've been doing like a lot of healing. Like I'm a very spiritual person. I think in the last 8 years, I reconnected with my energy. But there is some things I do sometimes, and then I have to reflect into it. And it's like, why I'm doing this? Like, why I'm acting this way? Asking myself, and then try to go back. And it's like, obviously, I had this lack of everything. So I've been living in a survival mode for such a long time. And then now it's like, okay, I'm trying to be better. Sometimes be better is it's very challenging because you have to fight with yourself internally. Every time, I feel like so many times I've been having good opportunities, but I've been kind of self-sabotage myself because I don't feel like I'm worth it. I feel like I'm not confident or I'm not skilled to do it. And this is a poor mindset, which I have to be fighting because in my subconscious mind, it's always like a little black box where to record everything. And even though I've been doing a lot of healing and things, I have to every single day fight with myself. And what I say right now is if you have the opportunity to support someone, just make they believe they can do anything. And the circumstances, it doesn't define who they are or who they're gonna be. And I wish, that's why every day I try to be always super positive, because that's what the only thing I have in my life, Even when I left my home and underage, 18 or something, I had to start working in anything because I didn't have any money. It's like, you can't just say, oh, I'm not going to do this. No, you have to do it because $10 or zero, or I don't eat.
You don't eat. But one thing, I want to stop you there because I resonate with you so much, and I want to tell a little story. But learning about this, even me, I've been going through recently anxiety, or, I've always been positive. I've always had a positive mindset. And it's like just recently I felt like I had an awakening, and I think in life, oftentimes you say, oh, I'm chasing my dreams, or I'm manifesting what I want, but we're living in survival mode.
Yeah.
And like you said, what happens when you're in survival mode? So, for example, when you're walking, and a car's coming at you, that's your sympathetic nervous system. It knows how to, it's protecting you.
Yes.
It's there, it analyzes everything, but it goes into a drive, you know, it narrows its focus. It focuses, it's looking at the threat. Where's the threat? In my environment. You know, that's how we became humans. So when you're living life, you, let's say, going and doing a speech, or you having something coming in your life, even sometimes speaking in front of a group of 4 or 5 people, those same systems are running.
Yeah, the same. They did because they don't know who was it in the past or who is right now, or the situation might be triggered you.
Yeah.
So the triggers are super important to recognize, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
No, not easy. And even like now, you have to say like my family is still like poor, you know, a little bit better, but it's still poor, you know. And I wish it wouldn't be in that situation. I've done everything I could in the past 10 years to help them, but there is some point like you have to say, now I say to myself, I can't keep going because this has been limiting myself, you know. I have to just let it go. And it's very painful. It's very, even like now when I face like situation or I meet people, when I want to launch something, I want to do something, it's like you make excuses in your subconscious mind because you can't make it. And it's like, no, I can make it.
You can.
But that internal fight
Yeah.
is challenging.
It's and that's what I wanted to get you. I feel you so much because, like you said, it is a war every single day. And the thing is, a lot of the times in life, when we're going through, you know, we live 70% of time in survival mode.
Yeah.
So now when you're going through that stress or that, you know, that constant need of trying to predict things in your life, you're going through those moments, it weighs on your mind. And then a lot of people are unconscious of the programs. They tell themselves they're not good enough. You're unconscious. Sometimes you're running a program because you're not present, you're not in the moment. So now all these thoughts are coming and you're not even recognizing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I had to realize, okay, if something goes well in my life, I'm happy. But when something goes bad in my life, I'm sad. Why is this? I don't like this feeling. And what we're learning is like a lot of people, we allow our environment to dictate the way we feel.
Exactly.
Or the way we think. You know, so it's like in life, can you think greater than how you feel? And like you said, when you feel like that, that's the stress, that's the anxiety, and it's a battle every single day. Even, for example, if I go to the shop, I'm starting to worry about, the money in my bank account. That's the stress, that's the anxiety. You know, that's what I'm learning. Like, no, go there and have a greater feeling than how you can think, be greater than your environment. But it starts with the way you think. And you know, if you keep hearing that we were poor, we don't have enough, if you're not conscious of that program, it's going to eat away you, you know, and that's how, yeah, it's just so fascinating.
It's fascinating. And that's why when people say, as you say, so it's so difficult to become poor and then be someone or stay poor. Yeah, that's true because environment is so important. And sometimes you don't even see it. Sometimes you run in this repeated pattern over and over, and then you say, why? Like, what is this happening to me? And it's like, hold on a second. You have to step back to say, it's not happening to me. It's like I decided to happen. And being more conscious, being more present, being like learning. Sometimes you have to, I feel in this moment of my life, I had to give up so many things. Like I thought they were right, but yeah, probably it's not right. It's like I thought they were the best, but to be honest, right now those things doesn't serve me to go where I wanted to go.
Like give an example. What do you mean?
For example, like friendship. You know, sometimes you have friendship, you really appreciate your friends, but your friends are in a different level. So it's important to recognize if your friends are gonna add something in your life or take it. And you ask yourself, you can know someone for such a long time. Maybe you have this deep connection, but is that person taking from you or is giving? And it's very hard to do that. I have been trying to giving up so many like friendship when you say like, oh my gosh, I told you everything about me, you know, my secrets. But I have to give you up because I need to move to the next chapter. And it's difficult. Being life is not easy, but I feel at the end of the day, you have to go for yourself.
Well, when you say with your friends, why do you think you were leaving them behind?
because they are not in the same frequency than you. They are not. But that's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. That's totally okay. People have different timings and time for processing to grow or whatever happens or realizing where you want to go is so difficult. But at the same time, it's like you need to understand. You need to let them go to move forward. It's like if you have a room full of all stuff and everything is disorganized, messy, but you every day you wake up feeling like, oh my God, I would like to see the beautiful sunset in the window, but everything is covered in boxes. How are you gonna see the sunset if it's covered in boxes? You have to take the boxes out, clean the room, and tie it up to see the sunrise. You know, it's like you have to let the space free to receive something new.
And I feel what you're saying, because it's like, okay, you're my friend. And maybe even sometimes when we became friends, it could have been out of our environment, or it could have been out of the situation, you know, we were in.
100%.
But then now you're conscious. Now you're conscious of every little thing. So every time I'm talking to you, maybe you're talking to me about gossip, or you're talking to me about what she or he did, or you have nothing that's really adding value to where I want to go. I'm sorry, but I got to cut you off. Like, and that's okay, because like you said, you're going through your own development and your own value.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But every single moment of my life, it has to be dedicated towards growth. And if you're not adding that to my life, hey, I got to go. Even when I have conversations with my friends, my environment, it's so important. The people you have, the music you listen to, what you watch on TV, you know, everything is down to detail.
100%. 100%. I think I don't watch news for such a long time. And I remember exactly the moment where I received the call from my friend, my bestie in that time, which is not anymore. And he said, oh my God, have you seen what happened with this virus? I'm not going to say it, but you know what I say to him? Don't even watch the news, because it's not, this is everything manipulated. You will see what is going to happen. And she was like, you are crazy. How you can say that? Calm down. 6 months later, everything was crazy. Even my mom, don't watch the news. It was like, it's so bad when you like call her. She's so negative, you know, like everything. Oh yeah, I'm so sick. I'm so this. I'm so that. I'm complaining and this and that. It's like nothing is looking forward. Everything is
your past. People, we live in our past. Yeah.
And it's like, I have to give out the past, and I don't have time to carry, I don't have energy. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, sure. And then I have to go, you know, like you hang the phone. But that was today I was reflecting, like, she have never asked me, she's not going to see this, but that's true. But it's good I want to say this, because, guys, you expect of your friend to say, hey, how is you going with your project? How is your school?
Say what?
You know, you want people in your environment who support you. And yeah, I say quantity is not the same than quality. And you want people lift you up when you are down, to say, Colin, you know what, I feel like, can we talk? And it just bent. Something is happening. Oh yeah, sure. Come have a coffee. Let's vent. What you need. That's it. Sometimes you need someone just listen to you. Or sometimes you just need someone to say, hey, how are you? How is school? It's good, you know, like a little things. But can you imagine calling someone to say, oh, my boyfriend is like this. I don't have money to pay this. I don't have a job. I don't have this. I don't have...
It's draining. Hey, I have fantastic news for you. The Rubasha Family podcast is proud to announce that we have partnered with WorldRemit. Now, as a diaspora family, African Australian, we have our loved ones back home. We want to feel connected with our people, whether we're sending money back home to create our family legacy, building generational wealth, or we're connecting with our loved ones, birthday parties, whatever the situations is. We always want efficient and effective ways for us to be able to send money directly, straight away, for the people that we love or the projects that we're funding. So we have some fantastic news for you. For the link in the description, it's going to sign you up with WorldRemit. And not only that, even better news, guys, watch this. Once you send over $100, you will have $15 put into your WorldRemit account immediately. So make sure when you click the link in the description, it's gonna take you to sign up with WorldRemit. Not only that, it's gonna ask you to use a referral code. You punch in that referral code and that will give you $15 as soon as you send over 100. Now back to the video.
Oh my gosh, you can't. You always have to think positive. I'm telling you, I'm coming from, I didn't have it. I didn't have nothing. Like, I think I had so many cold showers in my life. Like now I have it because I like it. But I had so many because when I studied at the uni, my first year or second year, my first 2 years, my mom she had like $10 to pay my, I used to travel. We couldn't even afford to pay me the room in the other city. So I had to travel 1 hour, 30 minutes by bus to get to my uni.
How old were you at this time?
17.
17. So 17.
So I graduated, I finished school with 17. I was the youngest. You know, you could say, oh, you had the best life. Yeah, I was young. But I followed whatever my mom said. Mm-hmm. So in that time, my mom said, oh, you are good for business. You should study that. Sure.
Because you're working in the shop, you were good with the numbers.
But it wasn't my passion.
Of course, yeah.
You know, but I was like, yeah, and also she was like, oh, yeah, we'll pay you, you know, whatever. Okay, whatever.
And what did you want to do at that time?
Advertising.
You wanted to do it?
Yeah, because I was very creative, like wearing weird outfit. I was a weirdo.
Where do you think you got that from? You mentioned something like, for example,
my grandmother.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So I was just about to.
My this grandmother and my grandmother.
So
my grandmother for my dad, he's very socialized. He have like personalities. She's like, you know, she didn't even finish school. I think she studied until like she was 14, and then she got pregnant from my dad. And
So, hold on. This is your dad's mom.
Yes.
So your dad's mom got pregnant at 14 with the father. Okay.
And in that time, she didn't finish school, nothing. She never.
14 years old.
Yeah, she was like a housewife, you know. When they broke up with that man, I think I saw that guy like twice in my life.
Your grandfather.
My grandfather, yeah. So when they broke up, my grandmother, she was very sad, obviously. But thinking she came up with this very socialized personality because she always was the caring. Oh yeah, bring you some food. Or what do you want? Do you need this? Yeah, of course, I help you out. You know, like
But she was very open.
Very open, social, like all going.
A people person. Is she the one that had the?
Yes.
Okay, so she was the one.
Mm-hmm.
How old was she when her and your grandfather split?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And then for my mom's side is my best grandmother. So it's my grandmother. She's like,
My mom's mom.
Yeah. And then my best grandmother.
Your great grandmother.
How they call it?
Great
grandmother. Yes. So my great grandmother, she was very spiritual. She was very, very
spiritual.
You know, she liked to read cards. Mm-hmm. You know, crystals, things like that. So I came from this side and the other side, and then came out with this.
Okay. So, no, it's interesting because, like, you know, and I think that's the great thing about DNA, you know, and the family that runs in your blood. Like, when you hear certain things like you and then see your grandmother, the social, and I can see you when I met you, you were very, you know what's so funny? And I want to talk about this, but we'll go into this. But I think, like, when I met you, yeah, you just had that spirit. Like, it's crazy, like, you meet certain people, you know, and they just have that energy. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people, it's crazy in life, like, when you're living in this space that what I've been doing, you just have energy where it's like you're cool or you feel safe. You don't feel bad vibes. And so I noticed that you're very open. And sometimes what's interesting, though, like, I was like, I think this must be a problem for MJ because she's very open. Let's say you meet someone like me. A guy might think because you're so open, maybe you're interested in him, or he's like, you're interested in that person. You know what I mean? So I was like, I know maybe people have confused that, but that's just her energy. That's just who she is. You know what I mean? But I know some men, they might think that you're flirting with them or anything. So like, I was like, I wonder if she gets into that way. Maybe she meets some people, and just because of her personality, her spirit, her, you know, her vibe, that people can misunderstand that. So I did notice that about you. You do have that upgoing, upbeat spirit.
Yes, that's true. I have those issues as well. I think that's one in the last years. In the recent years, I've been more quiet, and then not socialize that much. I don't know. Just I become more quiet, like more, like I don't know. I feel like maybe it's like I've been waking in too much. I've been seeing so many things, or been realizing, or just I'm so disappointed with people. I think that's the reason. I think I'm still hard to connect with people.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very good. Yeah, because it hasn't been easy. Like, even though I have like good intentions to be and show up, and always you see me on Instagram like doing the positive and this, but people is very like, I don't know. It's like people sometimes it's like very low. Like,
so for example, like, yeah, has that happened? Like, let's say, like, for example, right? Let's say now I'm hanging out with you, we're doing these videos, and then like someone like hits on you, for example, or have you felt that type of like, people don't have the right intentions at times?
Yeah.
More people take advantage of it?
Yeah, I feel like now I grow up. I like to say that. I grow up, I'm more mature. And for me now, you have to prove me your trust, because I know my worth. Knowing my value as a person, I don't let anyone to get in until you prove me you really want to be in, because there is no point, you know. And obviously now I turn it in the character more like bitchy. Sometimes people think I'm cold, I like a rock, and then I don't have feelings. I'd rather to give that perception instead of like giving all and open my heart and get her, because I try and I've done it. I'm a nice person. You can come to me on the street or at the gym to say hi. I will say you hi, how are you, whatever. I will be super polite, super open. It hasn't changed who I am, but now I'm more careful with the people who let in.
Because people have hurt you.
Yeah, too much, and I don't deserve that.
Both sides, like girls, like you.
Girls, guys, people, friends, exes, and even like now, like I just recently I went to Europe to visit my friend, and I was very surprised, to be honest. Like meeting people casually, which I didn't plan to see, and then to receive that amazing energy back. To say like, oh my God, I miss you so much. It's so nice to see you again. And then they hug me and give me all that love. And I feel like my soul, it was full. And it was amazing experience in that way. Like realizing like, yeah, I am the good person. You know, I am not the bad person. I am not. I have never had bad intention behind to do anything against someone, or even like go over someone to get what I want. Never. I always want to do anything who is in my hands to be better. And I don't have any issue to say, sorry, if I get up, I don't know, sorry, I apologize. I think that's a good thing you have to do. You know, you have to be humble. We don't know everything. We didn't born knowing everything. So how are we going to expect that? You know, just be nice, be kind, be a good person. But be careful, because people they like to take advantage. And people don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you be bad. They don't want to see you like you are successful. They don't want to see you that. And to be honest, for me, it's very, very difficult to give that one life. But I feel like I had to. I'm very sensitive. Like, I really am very sensitive. Like, I think I learned to hide it. But I'm very, very sensitive.
But you've learned to hide it because you've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You've been hurt many times.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting. I wanted to, on 2 points you just said. but like when you said you met a friend and it was very casually, you hadn't maybe known him long, you go and you in Europe, you have so much fun and it's just like this other energy. So it's like even with family, for example, just because they're your family, just because they're related by blood, it doesn't mean that they have your best interests at heart, or not necessarily that. Is friends, family, whoever is on that same frequency as me, or whoever is that supportive, that same spirit, that same energy, your family. You know what I mean? You could have blood, but that doesn't mean anything. Do we share the same morals, principles? So sometimes when you're with that type of person, and you can meet that person anywhere, you just have a connection, and that's
like now, I was in Europe 2 weeks. I spent with my bestie, and I know him like for 5 years. Or 6 maybe. We didn't see each other for 3 years. The whole time I was in Australia, and when we met again, it was like we spent such a good time like together, and it's that connection. Like you don't need to tell someone something. It's like you just read the same frequency. It's the energy matching perfectly. But I have to be honest to say like, yeah, it's been almost 5 years, which I haven't been to Chile, and it's very hard for me. Like,
do you think if you like you going back to Chile, you know, because like, you know, you have your family who live in Chile, even friends or whatever the case may be, and then now when you come from Australia, you're like the big shot, you know, you're the money. You know what I mean?
That happened to me in Europe. Like people thought I was like rich just because I was saying, oh yeah, I live in Australia. Oh yeah, cool. I've never had that feeling before. Like people change. When I say, oh, where are you from? I'm from Chile. Cool. And then my friend behind me, but she lives in Australia. Ah, you live in Australia? And the people change like immediately, like something like you are like the best, like the famous artist. I don't know, like. It makes me feel like, oh shit, okay.
No, you know what's funny, because like me as well, I traveled. I'm similar to you. I left home when I was 17. So when I'm overseas, right, people will meet me and then they hear me talk, and then they say, "Where are you from?" You know, because they see a black guy talking with this accent, and then I say, "Oh, I'm originally from Kenya," but then I say, "But I lived in Australia." Then they say, "Australia." Like, and then for them to see a black person from Australia, that's a whole like, you know. That's like there's black people in Australia, niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? So like it's so funny also from you when the people hear that Australia, that's like, damn.
It really, literally, and even like they started charging me more, and it was.
You said you started what?
Charging me more, like overcharge me.
Oh really? Because you come from Australia now, because they heard that. But Chile.
Because I was talking in English, I was speaking English, whatever, and obviously they can capture the accent, but not that much until they start overcharge me, like plenty of time. I'm not lying, like not one time. It's like every time I go out, he was like, oh. And then I turn around and speak in Spanish. It's like, do you speak Spanish? I'm from Chile. Like, why are you charging me this when it's not like that? Oh, mate, sorry. Yeah, no worry. Don't worry. I'll fix you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was like, what the fuck?
Crazy, huh? This is crazy. No, that's
the world is very in. So can you imagine now in this situation how I just put myself. I don't want to sound like negative, but I know myself. My personality is that going to Chile for me is challenging. It's like face that reality, which obviously I left because I didn't want it to be there. But at the same time, just see how much I've been like progress in my life. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Wow. It's very challenging. And I know in my subconscious mind, I've been putting excuses. So
you haven't gone back. Man, I think like your story is so interesting. No, we're gonna keep going. We'll keep it going a little. But I think we can definitely get more episodes with you. But I think it's really good. So okay, let's go to when.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this video. Let me quickly tell you about this product that we have. It's a cling wrap, foil, and baking paper organizer. It will organize your drawer. If you're anything like me, you have that drawer in the kitchen that you open and it's just like so messy. It has like a foil box and all of that messy stuff. This product will put everything in one. You can slide your products in and really easy to access, easy to use, easy to cut. Get it, link in the video.
Okay, so MJ, when we first met, I remember Ian hit me up and he's like, bro, I know you're doing YouTube. I can't remember what he said, but he's like, I spoke to a girl, she's from Chile, like she's down to do it, she's cool. So I was like, cool, what the hell are you talking about? So anyway, like I saw your profile, he sent me, so I was like, all right, cool, we'll hook up something. We met, you were pretty cool. I was like, okay.
I remember.
With Ian, we shot the video. So guys, if you guys have not seen that video, it's a very big video. I'm gonna put some clips on here. But we set you and Ian on a blind date.
A blind date.
So wait, tell the story of how you met Ian. How did this even happen?
Because I met Ian, so I crossed him a few times in the lift. That's why I saw him. And then one time, I don't know why, we started talking.
Yeah.
You know what? But it's like, sometimes you see, that's what I said. It was this moment, I was living for 1 year or year and a half, no, 1 year in my apartment. Mm-hmm. And every time I go out, I have never seen anyone. My time in it was like, oh, I love this building because I never cross anywhere. It's so private. But even though, you see there is another apartment. Anyway, so I start crossing him in the nighttime and then another time. And on the daytime,
that black guy.
Like how? Like I have never seen anyone, but always across him. And then one day, I think he was to the gym, and I was to the gym as well, like at midday or something. And then we start talking like, hi. Oh, you live in the front from, yeah.
Did he come up to you? You just started talking?
See, we start talking, like very easy. And I say, oh, yeah. And then he say, oh, yeah, so what you do? And in that time, I was doing Monet. It was like this skincare from America. And I said, oh, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, I have a business from vegan protein shake. And I said, oh, I'm vegan. Oh, yeah, we'll let you try, sure. And we started talking about business and then this and that. And then one day he came to me, he bought me some like, give me some little samples. And then he got me some samples and we started talking. And like that.
Okay.
And then he said to me, oh, you know what, my brother, he does like YouTube. We like to film a video. Oh, yeah, why not? I do that as well. So, yeah, I have never been in a YouTube video, but, let's do it, And that's how we did. The blind date.
The blind date. So, wait, before we go on to the blind date, what were your first thoughts on me?
I think you were very cool. I like it because we match the energy, And then you know what I like about you? You are like quick, like straight to the point. Like you don't fuck around. It's like, oh yeah, we do this and that and this and that, and it's like, puff. This is the energy what I need. You know what I mean?
So
I
yeah,
love that.
Because you saw when we met, like, all right, cool. You want to shoot the video?
Yeah.
There's no fucking around. Let's go. Okay. This is the.
This and that. We wanna do this. We wanna do that. Some of the talk this, move it around, and I love that. I like that kind of people. And it's very hard to find, to be honest. So okay. I was very, very grateful for that.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, so you just felt that energy.
Yeah, I felt that. And I'm very I have very good perception of the people. So I never get wrong. And for me, energy is more important than anything. You can just come to me with an amazing car, and then you start talking, and I read you, it's like...
You're lame. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just lame with money.
Literally, like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. No, I get you on that. And at the end of the day, like, I always, in this thing that I'm going through, it's like, you see that power that you have. I look at other people, and I see that within them, too. But, yeah, some people, it's just like, you wait on that. Material things don't make you cool, bro. You're just a lame person with cool things. Obviously, once you connect with your inner self and realize that doesn't make you... But anyway, so then... I was just straight to the point. Tell me about the blind date. What were your thoughts on dating Eve?
Blind date was like, oh my God, I haven't been in a blind date, but it's sweet. I was more worried about the questions, to be honest, than anything else. But I think it came out like fun. It was fun.
It was fun, huh?
Yeah.
That was so fun.
And then we did a few videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Good time.
It was such good times. No, that day with Ian, so many people laughed. People were telling me, Eve, it was so funny. Like when Ian was like, bro, I don't understand her. She's going like, blah, 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 blah.
He's like, come to my apartment to have coffee, whatever. He was like, calm down. Calm down, because the only thing I heard is like, and then look at him like, okay, good. Like, whatever. I write you. What you want? You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
So funny.
Yeah, nah, that's dope. That was a really cool connection. And then we kept filming. Like we just kept.
Yeah, we kept filming.
And like you said, you know what was really cool, with like what we've been doing is because it's so professional, but that energy, even your cat Fiona likes me. Like I can see when I pull up, you know, and it's just like straight to the point. Like we get there, do 2-3 hours, I'm gone.
Exactly.
Every single time. And I just think like it's that energy and
The energy is so important.
so important. And I think even just for like just to have that maturity, like, you know, I see you as a homie, like my friends say, oh bro, like, but you have a girlfriend, you going and do it. And I'm like, I'm mature, bro. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and my partner trusts me, like, you know. And
obviously it's like it's no point. It's that you have to be mature in life.
yeah,
You know,
because we know what we want, we know our vision, you know what I mean? So a lot of men, and I think a lot of men make this mistake, right? You meet a woman and sometimes it's not meant for you to go and smash or for you to go have sex with her. You could build a nation with this woman, or you could build something huge by just being like, you know, connecting energy.
like put the skills into it and then create something.
You spoil that because you just trying to smash, you know, and it's like we objectify women. And even talking to you, like someone may see you on social media and think, oh, she just wants this, she's materialistic. They just have their assumptions because as humans we judge. But like even when I first met you and like, okay, we started talking, like I'd come and even through the videos I would learn about you. Like when we're filming a video, whether we did like a conversation,
Exactly.
like I'm learning about you. And then obviously off camera, you know, you just living your daily life. Like I see things as like, wow, it's like in life we judge or we have these visions of people, but like you're really a cool person. And then you opened up to me. So I just think it's just like people need to learn that like not everything is about, trying to hit it straight away. Like
Exactly. You can build a friendship. Like when people say, oh, friendship between man and woman is impossible. It's possible. Because you have to see more than that. It's not just enough. You can connect with people in the energy, in passion, hobbies. You can build something. You can just be cool. Like, why don't you take the opportunity to learn more from someone?
From other people.
Exactly.
And in saying that, for example, like, you know, me having a girlfriend, I don't really have any other friends who are girls. And I don't say that it's just like, what value? What's the value? Like me and you, we're doing videos. If we're not doing about a video, we're not hanging around.
No,
really.
exactly.
Of course, we're cool, but it's all like...
The video, the content, you know, exactly.
I'm not coming to just, MJ, let's hang out. So I think that's also the thing is like, it's just the value, who's adding value in my life. I'm not going to have hella friends who are girls. You're the only girl. But the same as just having you as the only girl, even other people I rarely hang out with unless you're like proper family. So it's...
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I just think, like,
people need to be more open in the mind. Expand your mind, you know, just hanging out with people, this and that. Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you as well, because you're very spiritual and you do have a show, or I've been on your show where we talk about sex and stuff. Like, I think these are amazing conversations. And again, even in the way we're living our life now, it's like you're conscious of everything. And like even something like sex is such a spiritual connection as well. That's something that's deep. That creates life, and that life force can be used for amazing things. And when you have a nice partner, so I wanted to ask you, have you ever tried tantric sex?
If I ever done tantric sex, well, I had some experience, but not like
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube. YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who is really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rubasha Family podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video.
deep into
Okay.
connections. Yeah.
The only reason I asked because like I heard about it, like being able to, just I just feel as though this art of being present and
But you can be present. You can practice tantric sex without having the partner.
wow.
Like we're talking about partner like boyfriend. You can have tantric sex having like casual sex, but you are present. So there is different type of casual sex. So one is like, okay, you bang each other and then see you later. But maybe some casual sex, you really connect with that person. And you're gonna have, if you really are present in that moment, you can just have this tantric sex. Be like breathing, get into it, and get an orgasm, and have fun. And then the next day, see you later. Each one continuing their life, and that's it. But I think if people is too afraid to live in the present for what they're going to feel, and feel whatever it is, just feel it.
Yeah. No.
Just let it go, flow in your body, because that's what we're here for. To feel, to live, to experience. And sometimes I don't have a partner. I am being single for 4 years. I would love to, of course, I would like to have a boyfriend. Yeah, but I haven't found the right one. The one who is vibing in the same frequency than me. But now it's like, yeah, why not? If I had deep spiritual tantric sex with someone, yeah, I have.
You have, yeah. But it's interesting how you can say that you could have, like, even for me when I was single, like, I found that, even just to meet someone and just have sex with them, like, it's so overrated. It's just like, bro, that's so dead. You know what?
Because people, okay, I will explain you here. What happens is that you feel, in a simple way, you feel horny, and then you say, oh, yeah, I feel horny, I want to go and bang this girl. But you haven't really asked yourself, you really want to connect with that person. You know what I mean? I'm more the energy, so I need to feel something else than the attraction. I don't feel that the weird sexual attraction. I really need to feel it deep inside me. Like little signals, like little proof before you go there. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point?
So most of when you get in a relationship, or even not just a relationship, even seeing someone, you have to have that.
Yeah, I will give you an example. Every time when I go out with my friends, I never go out with the intention to find someone or finish the night with. No, I've never had that intention. But I like to sometimes I click with people, I dance, have a drinks or whatever. But when I was in Spain, actually, I went to this party and I clicked with this guy. But to myself, it was like, okay, I'm going to just enjoy what happened. I'm not going to say, always guys come to me to ask me, but I have to feel like click more than that. And people need to understand there is like a little space. It's like when you meditate, you start like see that space in between your mind and your reality. Kind of.
You're an observer.
Yeah, you are the witness. So happen the same when you click with someone. You need to really start asking, or maybe more asking, like, let your body guide you, like your intuition. And I clicked with this guy. The funny thing is, like, he was like 10 years younger than me, like. And it was so great. I felt like I had one day with him. And it was something like so magical. Like, I can't explain.
He was 10 years younger than you.
Yeah. And it was like, wow. And it was amazing. Like, I have obviously been out with guys, but I don't go and fuck with the guys just because they are cute. I need to feel something else. You just feel it. Just don't be afraid of that intuition and feel it.
Yeah. And I just feel like with consciousness, and even when you talked about being present, a lot of times in our lives, we're not present. We're not in the moment. And just like the way you're present and in that moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just in flow. When you're playing football, that's when you're magical. When you're living your daily life, that's when you're magical. And just experiencing that, I realized as well, it's the same thing with sex. Like a lot of women, they can't orgasm, not because of what it is or what's happening. It's just because they're not present.
They're not present.
They're thinking about pleasing the man. And then maybe the man, he's thinking about pleasing the woman. But you're not in the moment. You're not in flow.
In flow.
It just like hit me like a bombshell. I was just like everything in life, it's about being present. When I'm on having a phone conversation with my girl, I need to be present. You know, your mind tries to go here and there.
Yeah.
No, let me be in this moment. So it just makes so much sense why, like when you were saying that even with sex, when you're present, you could have tantric sex with someone like that because the energies collide. And we all have those moments.
Exactly. We have these moments. It's like when you are watching the sunset. I like to take that example because it's more accessible for everyone. When you go to watch the sunset or the sunrise, you sit there, and that moment is like so magical. You don't know if it is real or it's present or if reality or it's a dream. It's that sensation in your body. So when you get in that state, when you have sex, is when you have tantric sex. So it's just a moment of relaxation and excitement at the same time. But just that, it's like not be with the phone, just one thing at a time. Mind always focus in one thing at a time.
Yeah, and I think it's a key in life. Like even with sleep, everything, like you got to be present. You got to be in the moment, the unknown. That's the sweet spot. And it's hard. It is a battle to stay present because it's like your mind tries to attach to everything it does. And the secret to it is just like letting all of it be there. And even when you learn how to be present, that's when you start to observe the programs that are running through your mind. Because like you said, maybe you're walking or you hear, oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. It says that, you see, but that's in the past. It's, and then that's when you realize, wait, I'm not being present. And then that thought goes away because you let it be in this moment. And then actually, when you get into that mode and that lifestyle of being present, every part of your life, it's really where you can make the magic. It's the unknown.
That's how the magic happens. And why not take advantage of it? Yes.
All right, guys, this has been a fantastic episode.
Yes, amazing one.
MJ is going to come more often. We're going to shoot some more stuff. So make sure to like, share, subscribe. I really hope you guys enjoy these conversations, have fun, and really see what we're trying to do here, just making an impact. And again, like just speaking with you, your story, what you've been through, the advice that you've given in this episode or these 2 episodes has been amazing, and I think a lot of people will have value from your story. So that's what life's about. It's about using our experiences, what we've been through, the setbacks, the adversity, everything we're learning to help give someone else value.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I want here to share with you.
Cool. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Subscribe, guys.